Hi, everybody. Welcome you to our seminar, Content Creation with Adobe Firefly. My name is Hannah Messer, and I will be your instructor for the next 2 hours. I'm not saying instructor all the way because when we're using Adobe Firefly, I will give you some ideas about creating prompts and doing stuff. And the rest, actually, this is stuff that you're going to need to do yourself while you're watching me, maybe doing something else with the same prompt. And then we are going to go in and compare. So I have some files that I prepared for you, and I believe you guys got it in an email. And if not, I have a QR code that I'm going to show you in a minute, and then you will be able to find some of the files that I created if you want to use them as something like as a help for yourself when you're working. So before we start, a little bit about myself. As I said, my name is Hannah Messer. I'm an educator, subject matter expert writer for the Adobe application, artists, and designers. So, what I have here, a little bit about me. You will get this actually presentation that's included with all my files. I've been teaching here for probably over 15 years, the Adobe certification classes, and plus other seminar that I'm doing. And then you can find a link over here and go to Behance and see some of my videos and the artwork that I have there. So before we start, what are we going to do today? So kind of creating a session abstract, talking about Adobe Firefly that empower creators to produce high quality content quickly and easily using AI powered tools that perfect for students like you are, marketers that you are, communication specialists like you are, designers, and of course, every users that you have. The presentation, of course, we are going to have demo and we're going to do some step-by-step some stuff, but I created some stuff so you can go back to this presentation and see the stuff that we're going to do. So before I'm going to show you what's in the presentation, I would like to ask you a quick question. How many of you used Adobe Firefly before? Okay, some, thank you. Some used it, some never used it before at all. And maybe some of you, okay, I hear like you use something else, different kind of AI component that are not part of Adobe Firefly, which is great. And we're going to talk also about it while we're working about Adobe Firefly. So this is great. So I get to know that some of you used it before and it's not as foreign to you. And some of you never used it before. So we're going to go kind of step by step and explain the stuff that we have. So I have a little video over here, and then it's a little dated because I think it was from a few months ago. And since then, Adobe actually improved Adobe Firefly, and it's a little bit better. But just to get the idea and to get into the mood, I would like to show it to you. And you see here, it is on YouTube, and you can watch it yourself. But we're going to just go back here and look at that.
Why you doing like me? You're going on the level. Everybody watch and see. Watch and see. Skip that character energy. At some point, I'm about to fall apart. I'm about to fall apart. Check it out.
Yeah, you can dance.
Oh, Sean.
All of that. When I hear this wonderful music.
Check it out.
Again, this is a fun video that we have here, and then that's why I kind of wanted to show it to you. But I'm going back to my presentation over here and moving on. So I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about the idea of Adobe, I mean, generative AI in general, while you are a student. And then what are you going to do if later on you have to teach or educate other students, or you're in a classroom environment and your teacher is going to ask you a question and say to you, what is it doing for you using AI? Is it taking away your creativity, or you are gaining something while you're doing it? So what I looked at it is, what are the pro generative AI for the student? What is it doing for you? Enhancing learning support. So it's like tools like ChatGPT and Firefly helping you to find some stuff and summarize complex topics, brainstorming, getting ideas, and generate some study guides. Boosting your creativity. And again, this is part of a research that people did, and then I pulled out some topics from the research. So I didn't invent that. This is something that students are asking me, do you think generative AI is going to take our job as public relation professionals? Do you think that generative AI will take our job as a designer or a communication professional? And I don't think so. I think it will just improve it if you look at it the right way. It is time efficiency, makes stuff a little bit easier for you while you're working. You could personalize your learning. And then students that have disabilities, that will help them with a lot of stuff. So what are the cons? So maybe easy access to stuff that it's not so great, and you'll be cheating and not going to be so kind of like professional with that. Maybe reduce critical thinking, because you're going to say, well, I'm just going to put a prompt and it's going to be a beautiful design and I'm done. Bias or misinformation. Maybe AI output stuff that reflect bias or some stuff that it's not really what you want. So maybe the student would not detect it, and that's going to create a problem. And then digital device. Not all students have equal access to AI tools, because sometimes it costs some money and learning opportunity are not is not going to be available for them. And the last is privacy and data concerning. Using the AI platform may expose students to data collection and privacy risk. And this is one of the things that I'm happy to talk to you about, because Adobe Firefly is really secure, and then all the information is pulled out from Adobe stocks, and it's really, really good, okay to use, as opposed to some other platform that sometimes it is questionable. So basically, generative AI is reshaping the education. So I will look at it a little bit different when I'm teaching a class right now. You maybe will look at it a little bit different when you are going to use generative AI in Adobe Firefly and also in Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and now Adobe Premiere and other Adobe application, even Adobe Express and Acrobat, whatever has the enhancing with generative AI. So we're going to look at Adobe Firefly new UI. It's really a new engine that we have now, and it's absolutely new UI that you have there. So if you used it before, and I see some people said that they used it before and it looks different, yes, it does. And guess what? I even sometime, because they improved it the last few months, and sometimes I'm looking like, where is the component that I was looking for? So anyway, so I'm going to go back here, and then Adobe Firefly improved the interface, introducing Firefly 5 images that you have. And then I'm going to stop for 1 minute. And some more people are coming in. Yes. And I'm going to welcome them to the class right now. So we're just going to do general information now, but I'm recording everything so you can go for the beginning. So get a seat if you want to watch it, And then if you want to follow us, of course you can. Okay. So this is kind of like the presentation. You can see what we're going to generate image, generate video, generate soundtrack. We're going to go and look at ideation with board that we have. And then we're going to look at the main feature that we have in Adobe Firefly. So you'll be able to look at this presentation later and have some links there, and you'll be able to go over again. Integration with Creative Cloud. Adobe Firefly is built directly into many Adobe applications: Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Express, Photoshop for the web, Premiere Pro, and After Effects. So if we have time, maybe we're going to jump into Photoshop and see how Firefly is built into Photoshop while we're working with it. And then it's all about the prompt. So I actually prepared for you a set of prompts so you don't have to think so much if you don't want to, or you can create your own prompt that you have. And then depending, the prompts are going to have to be descriptive, tell the story, basically tell something. If you are tell a story about a girl that doing something, you got to tell, what is she doing? Is she standing in the corner? Is she flying a balloon and she has a flower in her mouth? If you just say a picture of a girl, you're going to see it's going to be super, super boring. Then you want to do like a detail, specific stuff. Where is it? Interpretation, combine styles, and be very, very creative with it. And you can see over here kind of like different kind of prompts that I have. The first one that you see here on the screen said a dinosaur is running toward the viewer among prehistoric vegetation in the background. An asteroid hits Earth, documentary style, photorealistic, cold color and tones. That's the stuff that created that. But then you can see here and say another things and another stuff that you have. So if we're going to look at it, the dinosaur is the subject. It's the image that we're going to create. What is he doing? He is running. That's the action that we're going to do. Where? The vegetation, prehistoric, that's the background. In the background, there's other stuff. So documentary style, this is the style and the mood that you have. And this is how we're going to start in a minute and do it together. So I'm going to jump over a little bit for a second. And then we're going to go in and look at the links that I gave you. But if you have the information, did you get the information about the file for me? Okay, but if not, you can see here you have sample file to download in the QR code, and then inside the QR code, you're going to have the presentation here and also the file that I have. So with that said, let's open together Adobe Firefly. So how do you start? I'm going to go back here, get out from my presentation. And usually I don't like to use so much presentation. And I'm going to jump over to Adobe Firefly. So look what I have over here. Let me just go in and hide the floating control. And this is actually Adobe Firefly. So what did I type? Firefly.adobe.com. This is really, let me just go into the screen and make the screen a little bit bigger so we can see the stuff kind of like a little easier. So this is the new screen. Did you use the new Adobe Firefly before? Okay, so type firefly.adobe.com, and that's what you get in front of you. So let's slowly just look at the stuff because it could be overwhelming a little bit before we get into prompting and doing something. So what do we have? Let's just look at the UI first. On the left side, you can click on the word new. And if you click on the word new, it's asking you, what would you like to create? A board, a video, image, Photoshop file, Adobe Express file, and you want to generate a new image, a new video, a new vector, and audio. This is just asking you, what would you like to do? Maybe we'll do some videos today, but a lot of time Video will take a little bit more credit, depending how much credit you have within your subscription. But I think until March 15, they extended it. A lot of free credit we have because we don't want people to start playing with it and do some stuff. Then you have the stuff create. And if I go back here to create, they're asking you what would you like to create and what kind of prompt would you like to have? And look what we have here in the middle of my screen. They're looking if you want to do an image, but I'm going to click over here, and this is what I wanted you to see. All the way in the top, you have Firefly Image 5, which is still in the preview, Firefly Image Ultra, Firefly Image 4, and Firefly Image 3. These are all Adobe Firefly Imaging for AI. And then the Ultra will give you only one example. The others are going to give you three examples each time. But then look what we have over here. We have partner models. What does it mean? Adobe partnered with other models, but they said to them, we want to improve some stuff, so you can go through Adobe Firefly and use other partner models. They work a little bit different, of course, and each of them has another thing and another requirement that telling you actually what to use, how to use the stuff, and how to work with it. And then we can look at and some of the partner models will take more credit, especially the one that has some videos. We'll take a lot of them, and you can see over here, and some of them we're going to take. And once you're going to do something, it's going to tell you how many credit it's going to take. Does that make sense? So sometimes you'll see, oh, 800 credit. Oh, I don't want to do that. That's when it starts to doing this. Then what I have here, I have the stuff say generate. Again, it's the same idea, create and generate, and asking you what do you want to do. Then you have a place that's called boards, which I really love. And this is a place that you have all the images that you are creating, and you can put it like a storyboard inside. So almost like you tell a story while using boards. So if you have a project that you have to do, you can use board and start looking at the images and assemble them together. Then you have the production area, and this the production area. It is a new one, and it's still in a testing view. So you can go in and do remove background, crop an image, color grade, coming soon, standardized headshots. That's coming soon. It's not there. And coming soon, upscale some kind of image, transform low-res images into high quality output. Some of them are already there with another third model that you have. It's like a partner model. You can do that with it. And then you have something called quick actions. So what does it mean? You can go remove the background, you can go the merge videos, different kind of stuff that you do. But a lot of time, while you can click at the quick action, it's going to jump into Adobe Express. Did you use Adobe Express before? Do you use Canva? Yeah. So Adobe Express is basically the answer to Canva based on Adobe. Canva is one company, the other one is Adobe Express. The difference is from here, you can go directly to Adobe Express directly from Firefly. And look at that. The other thing I wanted to show you, it says your stuff. So what is it? This is actually my Creative Cloud uh, stuff that I created over here. And then I have custom models. So it's going to tell you what kind of custom models it's available. And then you can go in and train your own stuff with it if you want. And then you can go into the waiting list and decide that you want to go back here and get into that. I'm just going to go back here and escape from that. And then I'm just going to go back to my Adobe Firefly. Okay, and I'm going to go to Firefly and click out of here. It always takes me a moment to exit the full screen. And now I'm just going to go back to Adobe Firefly. So look what I have over here. I have a place that says gallery. And then I have another step place here, that stuff that I did before. So what is the gallery? The gallery, it is actually a place that you can take some stuff that you did and put it in the gallery. I'm not sure they're going to take it. So what does it mean? And I'll tell you when I'm using it. So look at that. Let's say I have something here in a gallery that somebody already did something. And if you feel like using it and remixing it, you can start making your own stuff over here. So I love looking at it because it gives me a lot of inspiration if I don't know what to do. Okay, that's the gallery that I have over here. So now I'm going to go back to your stuff. And if I go to more stuff, you see shared with me, project, favorite. But what I really, really like is generation history. What does it mean? Look at that. I've been busy. This is stuff that I did the last few days, not even weeks. Look at it, look at this. It's going on and on and on. And look at how many things that I have here. So do I have some limitation? Probably not so much, depending on the storage that you have. But let's say I'm going to click on one. For now, I'm going to click on one. And I'm clicking on one of the things over here. And then I'm going to have, you have unlimited generation, they're telling you. And look at that. So I did it, right? Yesterday. And what did it say over here? Elegant Asian fashion model, realistic proportions, refined facial features, face and beauty, natural skin texture. Where did I take it from? I probably looked for a prompt and did that. Do I want to go and regenerate it right now? So let's say I'm just going to go back here and it tells me that now it takes only 0 credit over here. And then it tells me over here that's the option. But look what it tells me all the way up here. This is Gemini 2.5. It's Google that called Nano Banana. So it's not an Adobe Firefly. So I'm just going to click here. And then stop me if it's not clear, okay? And I'm going to click over here and look what I have. How about I'm going to look at Firefly Image 4 right now. Let's say I never used it before. I'm doing something super simple and I'm clicking. And what do I have here on the left side? It tells me is the aspect ratio was landscape because that's what I did before. Do I have to stay there? It's going to be based on the same prompt from before. But what if I wanted to do a different kind of aspect ratio? What if I wanted it to be a square? Do I have a content type? What does it mean? Do I have another photo or I want it to be like art? So I'm going to say that I wanted it to look like art. And then when I'm going to go back here, I'm going to say the visual intensity is all the way. These guys, I'm not going to touch it. What does it mean over here? This composition, so you can take another composition and tell it to go to this prompt and it's going to change it completely. And then you can tell it to be in a different kind of styles. And then if that's not enough, look what else do you have here? Different kind of effects. And all the way down, you have color and tone, lighting, and camera angle. For now, I'm a beginner, right? So I'm doing this prompt right now. So if you feel like typing a prompt like it, go ahead and do something. My prompt is elegant Asian fashion model, realistic proportions, refined facial features, face and beauty, natural skin texture. You can just type elegant Asian fashion model with realistic proportions. Whatever it is, I'm going to go back here and you see. So now I just clicked on generate. It takes a moment. And look at that. I'm getting 4 generation over here in a minute. It doesn't do it so fast. And look what I have over here. It looks a little bit different like the other one because the other one was nano banana. So it looks a little bit different. And this one is one of it here. And you can see here it's on a square right now. And then I'm just going to go back here and then click on that. And then you can see this is the generation that I have. Another one over here. So look at this one, looking pretty cool. And then if I want to change it right now, it tells me if I'm going to use Nano Banana right now, I think it has Generation Nano Banana has two of them right now. It has Nano Banana 3 and Nano Banana 2.5. I'm going to go in 2.5. It still tells me 0 credit. You see, I'm checking it. And then if you're looking at another one for fun, let's say I'm going to do Flex Pro, still 0 credit that I have. And it tells me describe what you want to create or edit, right? So I'm just going to go back to Nana Banana. And what do we want to do and what do we want to edit? What if we don't like that? Give me an idea. Yeah, yeah. So what should we do? She says, make the image skin more realistic with skin tones and light colors. I'm making it up now. All of a sudden, I blocked it right now. And also, you can go and add an image, but let's say I'm going to go and generate. And let's see what I'm getting. It is too long right now. And why am I not getting it yet? It's probably something with the internet. Here it is. Okay, so now I got this. This may be a little more. You can see over here. I'm going to go back here and look at the skin. Looks a little bit better right now because it's not as kind of like plastic looking, right? So I have the tones a little bit better. Look at the way the stuff around her neck and things like this. And then she looks a lot better over here. But I'm just going to go back to Firefly over here and see what I can do here. So when I'm using the other models, not Firefly, I kind of have that. And then I can go back here and it tells me the resolution is 1K. Right now I can do also the resolution to 2K, which is really a very big improvement and everything is looking. But I cannot do the other stuff that I wanted to do here. But look at that. I have a reference image. Do you see that? So what if I have a reference image? It doesn't give you a reference image now, but I'm going to click. In a reference image, you can go into your device or to Adobe Creative Cloud Storage, whatever you have. I'm going to go to my device. And look at that. I have here Firefly February 5, and I have some assets. The thing is, I'm not sure I have the right aspect ratio because you have to think if I did square, it's going to be square. So let's check it out. If I have Firefly asset over here, Firefly image, and I'm just going to look at that. And what do I have over here? Firefly composition references. So I know in this composition reference, it is the square one. I know that. So I'm just going to click on it. I think it doesn't make any sense because it doesn't relate, but you can prepare something and I'm going to open that. And now I'm going to generate. And let's see what we're getting. And this is what I like in this kind of presentation because everybody is going to get something different. right? And everybody is going, it's almost like it's not an instruction how to do it. It's like, let's just do it and play and figure out what are we getting and not being afraid to find other way to do different stuff. So the way I look at generative AI is don't just take it out of the box and say, a little girl doing that, because we'll do something like this in a second. Oh, look at that. She's a little bit more creative because this is the image that I have underneath it. Yeah. So is it making sense? Maybe not to this one. Could make sense for something else. But what if you wanted to get her to be on this background right away? I was able just to do that. So, and then the reason I chose this one because I knew it's the correct aspect ratio, but I can go to another one and then decide that maybe not worry about the aspect ratio that I have. And then I'm just going to go back here, take it away. If I go back here to another one, may you see this, I have a little bear over here, but I have firefly images over here. And I'm just going to go into something that has some kind of composition. Again, in a lot of the other models, you have a lot of time only one image. In Firefly, most of them, except Ultra, will give you four images to choose from. Again, also in Photoshop, when we'll jump into it later, it is also going to go in and do it in Photoshop and give you some kind of information with it. So you see, it takes a moment. And again, at home, probably you're going to do it a lot faster. I think Zoom is taking some of it also. And then the internet over here. And a lot of time I get kind of like impatient a little bit. I'm like, come on, just do it, right? Yeah, do it and then click on that. Oh, look at that. This one actually brought the image from here, just brought the light to it. So, okay. But now I'm just going to go back here and then I'm in the beginning and let's go in and look at the prompt that we have. So I'm just going to go back here to my desktop and then I gave you in Firefly information, I gave you assets, and I have a prompt guide over here. So look what you have in the prompt. And I actually always write every prompt that I do, I copy and paste it somewhere. So if you're looking at my little stickies or in my notes on my computer, I have prompt, because sometimes I get something that I really like and I'm thinking, I'm not going to remember it, right? So let's say I have, let's say, a regular prompt. If I'm going to double click on it, it opens it, right? In simple text over here. So look what I have right now. Let's say I'm going to go in and look at some stuff that I have. So stuff about typography, I have fluffy typography, I have regular typography, or I have some stuff over here. But let's say I'm just going to go in and say, a frog sitting on a lily pad. Very simple that I have. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to jump over to Firefly over here. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say generate. And then I'm going to start it with Firefly 4 at the moment. And then I'm going to click inside and then I'm going to paste. Very, and that takes it to a simple one. So what am I taking? I want a frog, and I want him the frog sitting on a lily pad. Is it enough information, or I wanted maybe later to tell it to be a little better some stuff? So I'm going to start with the regular generation over here. And by the way, everything that I'm doing now, it's going to jump into your generation history. So you don't have to worry that you're missing it. So look what I have all the way down. I have different kind of samples over here. I have one over here that I have a frog sitting on a lily pad. And then over here it tells me I can go and generate, I can edit, and also I can bring it to the gallery, meaning to the community gallery. The one from the third party stuff, you cannot put it in the gallery because it's a Firefly gallery that you have over here. So what can I do over here? If I click edit over here, or I can go in and generate and going back to generate. So I'm going to look at each one of them and let's decide which one we are liking it. So I don't like the whole thing over here, but look what I can do. I can edit, and in the edit, I can edit the image. I can go in and say generative fill. I can generate similar. I can use composition reference, and I can use a style reference. All the way up here on the right side, you can open it directly in Photoshop on the web. And then also you can go back here and just download it if this is what you want to do. Because maybe you wanted it just for reference and you want to take it to whatever it is and just do something else with it. So if I'm going to click edit the image, I'm going to go back here and it's asking me, what do I want to do with the image that I want to go and make? Maybe I want to tell it just to do something and I can go into Nano Banana and do something it. Or for now, I don't want to edit it over here. I'm just going to go to my prompt. And in this case, I want to do something else. So over here, I'm going to have another area that says something about the prompt that you have. And then I'm going to tell it prompt enhances or prompt suggestion. So if I'm going to go to the enhancement that we have, I'm going to go back here and then show the new one. And look what I have now. Now, look at this. I didn't have to think. It is pretty small, but it says a vibrant green frog sitting calmly on a large round lily pad, and then it is tranquil and on the pot. The lily pad has a texture, so it's telling me a whole story that I have. But look what I'm doing. I'm copying it. I'm just copying it right now. I'm going to accept. I mean, when I went in to select it, it just went to AI for a minute and say, do I want to do it a little bit different? And I'm just going to go again, but I'm just going to go back here, right click on it, and basically I'm going to copy it. Why am I copying it? Because I'm going to open my little sticky now. Look at this, the notes, and I'm going to say new note, and then I'm going to say Firefly seminar, February 5th. And basically I'm pasting it. So maybe I can look at it a little bit better. And also, I'm going to see how big it is because it's really small. And now I can go and read that. So it says, I mean, I can go back here and give me suggestion not to do something. And it says, a vibrant green frog sits calmly on a large round lily pad in a tranquil pond. The lily pad has textures and surface and a small water droplet glistening on it. The background features a mix of other. See, it's like a lot of more. Yes, the new prompt. I went all. I mean, I'm good. I went all the way down here, and you see over this tiny, tiny little area here that it says prompt features. Click on that, and then you can see here it gives you prompt suggestions, and then you want to turn it on because you can turn it on. Then I'm just going to go back here and then I'm going to click on the one and I'm going to click here. And then, of course, I lost the one that I had, but you can click in and have it. So I'm going to paste it again. Okay. And now, and you see what I did? Okay. Let me just look it up. That's, and I copied it to another area, right? On the note. Okay. Okay, okay, prompt picture enhancement, and then click on the word credit. I mean, no, sorry. Okay. Okay. click here again. Click on one. Okay, okay. Click on the image. Yeah, yeah, and that's it. So now what I suggest, if you want it for later, copy it and open your note or a sticky if you want and start building different kind of prompt. That's how I built my own list that I gave you. Other people did it and copy and pasted. And a lot of time, if I go to a seminar with somebody else that's doing something and they're gonna show me something, yeah, and they're gonna say, "Can you give me the prompt? I want to see what you did." And based on that, we can go. But we're gonna play with it. So you see, you have probably a little different prompt than mine, or maybe this, I mean, almost the same, and then I can go and generate or whatever it is. But now, look what I'm going to do. Let's say I'm going to go and see what is, before doing the composition, maybe I want to go into the special effects. Do you see all the way down? I have effects, and I can decide what kind of effects that I want to do. So I'm going to go back here to my effect, and I'm going to look. Let's say I'm going to make it like kind of like I don't want kind of, I mean, I want to go in and make that flat design. And then I'm just going to go back here and then look at this effect. I'm just going to click on some of the effect, and you can do as many as you want. And I'm just going to go and generate. So I'm just added different stuff from the effect that they are giving me at the moment. And I'm waiting to see, okay? I don't look what happened over here because I kind of like, but maybe again, I don't like it. Maybe I like it now. You know why? What if I'm writing a children's book about little froggy, right? I didn't even think about it. And I'm like, oh, that could be a really great way to do something for children book. So what I'm going to do is, um, something a little bit different with that. And then I can go back and I decide if I want to go back here. I can go back here to the share. I can copy the image. I can then image to video. I can open it in Photoshop and open it in Adobe Express, but also I can download it. So if I really want to download it, I just can download it and say, you know what? That can be maybe a reference for me to start something to do a children book, and then like do stuff about numbers and all kind of stuff. So maybe the three little frogs went to stuff like this. So if I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to go back here, and I want to go and look the stuff over here. I'm going to go back here and create something else if I want with it. Or I'm going to go all the way to Firefly 5, which is only a preview right now, and then make the image or whatever it is. I have the prompts from before. I forgot I forgot to delete it, right? So now it's going to do that for me. But if I don't want it, I mean, I'm going to go back to the other one and click on that. But I'm just going to go back here. I'm going to go. I actually like this one. And this one is not bad. This one I don't like so much. This one I don't like so much. So you can see here. And then I'm going to check out over here. Oh, look at this. Make the image skin. Maybe that could be good. I don't know. Right? A little weird, right? Yeah, a little kind of weird looking, so I don't want him right now. But I can go back here and then I can do a reference image and I can go back to Firefly and do that. So now I actually can go in to my own stuff right now and then go back to generation history and look what I have over here. And over here, I can start actually, if I go back here, I open it in Board, and we're going to look at it in a minute. I can open it at Photoshop in the web. I can open it in Adobe Express. I can download it. I can make it into a favorite. I can edit to somewhere else. I can share it with a public link, copy the image, or delete it completely if I want. So I can share it with other people, and then maybe I want to go and I actually downloaded it already before, but I have it over here. So what does it mean going in to a board? So let's say I'm going to go in and open in a board. And look what happened over here. This is your board over here. And then I'm going to go back here. And if I click on it, you see the word create a board. And I create a board over here. And that's going to be maybe a new board that I'm going to go and do over here. And I'm going to put here over here. And I didn't want to take this one, but I took the wrong one. But that's okay. I put it over here, and then I'm going to click on it, and I said ideas for children's book images. Just ideas, right? So it's kind of like almost like a little storyboard. So well from Firefly, you put it, look how excited I am, right? But it is helping you. And in a minute, you'll see I have a lot of boards because if I create something, I kind of using it for inspiration. So what can I do over here in the board? I can go back here and I can make it, that's the artboard. I can go and add a text to it. So I can go and click on the text and I can say small frog sitting. So, and then I can go in and make it a little smaller. So it's basically for me to tell me what I was telling, if I want to, right? To go in and do that. But also you have some more stuff over here. I can click over here. I can add a shape, get a circle. I can also do all kind of stuff. So I can just go back here and add a circle and then just create and say something on it if I wanted. But I also can go back here and say add content. So add content for my device or from Adobe Cloud that I have. So if I'm going to go to my device, I can go into, let's say, Firefly demo files. I have a lot of demo files over here. I'm going to go back here and what is this one? Okay, I have no idea what it is, but I'm just going to go in and I'm going to go back here and look at that. I'm basically adding it. So this is not the children books anymore, or maybe it is a background for the children books. And I had some stuff over here, and then I'm just gonna go back here and play with that. So I can go back here, and then I can go in and do different kind of things over here. All the way up here, I'm going to click over here. I can open it. I can copy it. I can do links. I can send it and do different kind of stuff with it. I can also go back here and upscale the topic. I mean, I can make it a little bit bigger. I can go back here and convert it to 3D or to video, which is not what I want to do right now. I can go to edit. I can insert stuff. I can remove, expand, and then I can go and edit it with different kind of third-party modules that I have. And then I have a place that says vary, and then I say more files like this, keep the subject and keep the style. So I'm just going to say keep this style. And look what it's going to give me. Bunch of the same one that I had right now, but it's going to go in and create something a little different from it. So this is inside my board, and then later on I can actually go in and use it and do different kind of stuff with it. It's still moving around. I don't want this one, so I'm just gonna right click on it and actually I can delete. So you can delete stuff from your board if you don't want. But I have it over here and look what I got. Actually, I did something almost the same style, but look what I have here. Different kind of style with the cloud, but I didn't keep this subject. You see that? So I got this one over here. I can just do that. All the stuff that I have here. And then if I click on it, this is actually what I get over here. And then I'm going to go back here and look at the stuff over here, and then just going to go in and create some stuff with it. So if I'm going to click over here and I'm just going to go back here, I can go to that and generate an image based in that. Or, and it doesn't do the credit over here. I don't want to do a generate an image, but I have the stuff over here. And then I can go in and load it, and then I can go back here and you can see different kind of stuff that I have over here. And then I'm just gonna go in and kind of move it to the area, and look what I have over here. I have a different kind of style of the board. So this is all staying with the same idea that I had over here. I can go back here again to vary, and then this one I'm saying keep the subject. Also, when I keep all of them, let's say I'm going to select it, I can go back here and I can arrange them row, column, or mosaic. I can also go back here and align them together. And then also I can collect them into another item. And you see, I can collect everything into a little whiteboard over here. And then I'm just going to go back here, and then it is almost kind of unlimited. Look at the sizes. So look what I got here. If I'm going to go back here, I'm going to go and load this one, and then look at that. So all of a sudden, I got the stuff. Maybe I don't want it, and I can do different kind of things with it because I don't really want this image right now. But now let's say I'm going to go back. And I'm going back to Firefly. And then this is what you have with the Firefly board. So brand design, they give you ideas from other people. Let's say some person did furniture design project. Another person did brand design project, and another one did a film project. So if I'm going to his own film project, I'm basically going to see the idea with stuff that somebody else did. Kind of like to see how they create a little, look at this, there's a lot. You see how many? But they were working on it, so I can go back here and start looking at what they're working. And then look what they did. They created mood boards, and they said, create your own, maybe it was homework to create a mood board with stuff. Look at this one. Create a mood board for something else. And they added a lot of images over there and put it in one board. So the board is really, really good part of Firefly to start using. So look at this. I have an idea for children book, but I have another one over here in January that I did something super funny, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. Something I didn't want it, but look at that. What was this? This one actually, I don't know what I did over here. I did a video. Okay, but what did I do? What did I do here? What I did over here, I basically used Nano Banana, and then I created something that looks like animation that you have here. So when I going into each area that you have, you can see the stuff that I have over here. So I'm just gonna go back here to the board over here, and then it is telling me that it is Gemini, the content, the stuff there. You're responsible for confirming it. I have another one over here that I actually went in and created it. And then if I go to generate the image, I can actually click. You see this little um, sample area here, eyedropper. So I'm going to go in and click over here, and then you can see maybe some kind of the image that I have. And maybe if I click over here and then see on the image that I have. And I'm just going to go back here and then look at that. I thought I'm going to be able to sample it, but maybe not. Hold on a second. Add an image reference. Oh, there was something with an image reference, so it just didn't do for me actually the prompt that I wanted to go back here, but I can go in. So what did I do here? I had regular images that I used, but I used kind of animation with it. It's like a clamation, right? So if you go to anywhere that you want, and then you can say exclamation image that you want to do, right? So I'm just going to go back. And then I'm just going to say, I don't know if I have the reference image from before. I probably did not save it, which is not really good. But I'm going to go to the internet, and then I'm going to go and say claymation image of a princess holding a magic wand. Oops. But I don't have, maybe. Okay, I'm just gonna go jump over to my images actually and see what the image that I had was there, because I probably still have it. So I'm just gonna go back to Firefly. And then see the images that I had from before. So this is basically, that's how I started. So I'm clicking. And it was turned the photo of the human into a, oh, I did a spelling mistake. That's why I didn't find it. Uh, into a clamation version, like the second photo in a full standing pose. So this is the reference image that I had. I kind of like went in here and downloaded over here. So this is actually not an image. I can go in and load an image. So I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go and generate an image. And let's see what I'm getting. Oh, look at that. I just got acclamation stuff just here area that I have. So can I go right now and look at this, and let's go in here and see if I can go and do some kind of a little video with it. So I'm going to go in. You can go make a video in Firefly directly with it, or you can go in and create it in one of the information that you have over here. So I'm just going to go back here. And then I'm going to go back here and turn the foot in a full standing pose, moving the arms up and down and smiling. He's smiling already, but let's see what I'm getting. Okay. So you can see you can do different kind of reference image, and this is how you can get it. And then he will come and be like a video or something like an area that you have. So you can see over here, I think I have some kind of a princess over here. Look at this one. And it said a detailed composition featuring a regal texture and a central figure in a regal gown. And look what I got over here. I got kind of like a little princess over here that has the stuff that I have. So this is kind of like flat images that you're going to go in and work with. But what if you wanted to go in and create something else? So let's see what we have. You can create a board, you can edit an image, you can edit a video, and then you can also go all the way stuff and start looking at the stuff that you have. You can also remix the stuff that they're already giving you over here. Under generate, let's see what we can generate over here. We can generate an image, generate a video using a text or image, and generate a sound track. So I'm going to go back here, and then it tells you that at the moment you have unlimited promotion right now. So what I have over here, it is going to go back here. And what do I want to do in my first frame? I can go in and bring an image. So let's say I'm going to go upload an image that I have, and then I'm going to click on an image and see if I can go back here and create something. So in Video Firefly, I don't have actually any images, inspiration files. I can go back here and see if I can go back here and have an image that moves over here. And then I can could say, roll the colors from blue to green. And let's see if I'm going to get something. And it's starting, you see, generating for me kind of like an image. Has limitation to 5 seconds at the moment. And I have like one frame only loaded over here, and see what I'm going to get from it. Hello. This takes way too long. Oops. And I'm going to go back here, transform your video with precision, choose a clip and tap it, and you want to go back here and do that. So look at this. I just got something, and look at, you see, it was flat completely, but I told him to fill it with different kind of colors. How cool is that? I didn't even put another frame. I took an abstract image that I painted, and I went in there and I already tell it roll the colors from blue to green, and then I say add more red stars. Now I'm really okay. You see this little video, but I might go back here and the frame, and I can add another frame to it. And all the way down, ooh, now I'm using 400 credits. That's not something that I should have done. See, I didn't pay attention, and I'm using my credits. So video, yeah, you have to kind of like, and then of course you can open the audio and maybe get some other stuff there. and then it's a white screen, and the model is Web 31. Or if I did Web 31 fast, that's a trick. It will just do only 80 credits for you. Okay, let's see what we're getting now. Look at that. Look at my screen. See what I said? The stars. And I have this one. This one, I just having it normal. So basically I can go back here and I can download both of them. And then I have the video. So I'm downloading it and let me check it out. So you can start also your stuff from a video that already exists with it. Does that make sense? So now I'm looking at what I just downloaded. I'm going to go to my download. And I think I downloaded a lot of stuff right now. And let's see if it's still. Okay, this is my little froggy that I really liked before from my story. But look at this. This is my MP4. And I can go back here and change it and tell the star to splash around and do all kind of stuff if I wanted to go in and create. Where did I start over here? I basically started from a regular image that I had and then from the image. But be careful. See here, I did video model, and the first one I did the video model 31. Took a lot VO. It took a lot of credit, but if you do the video fast, it takes a lot less credit that you have. And you can start looking at different kind of stuff. Let's say this one takes 500 credit. Sorry, I'm going to click on this one. Takes 250 credit. I'm checking it out before I'm doing something with it. 500 credit, of course, I'm not going to do stuff with it. And then I'm looking at Zora 2, and that take 200 credit. So I don't want to use that again. So I might just leave it alone right now. But again, depending how much you have and how much credit you have, and that's how you want to go and work with it. So what are the features I have here that we didn't even look at? Look at all the features here. Prompt prompt edit, image to video, and then you have creative production, you have custom model, you have generate speech over here. Let's say I have image to video. So that was my image to video that I had before. I don't want to do another one. So I'm going to go in and look at that. Then there is a recommended one that you have. And then you're going to go in and look at the other stuff that we have. I have board, I have generating stuff. And I'm going to go again to generate. And then this one, explore images. You have video and you have audio. So inside the images, look what I had. Text to image, generative fill. You have scene to image. You have text to vector, and then generative recolor, and then generative template, generate template. So let's say I'm going to go to text to vector. I'm going to click. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. I clicked on the scene. I'm going to go in to text to vector. And I'm going to click to text to vector over here. And now we want to do like generate something that is vector. So I'm going to say, let's say I want to create, you can create a subject or you can create a scene. Remember the froggy that I had? Maybe I want to start something, but I'm going to do a book or something that's going to have vector-based images, right? So I'm going to say a lily. Okay, you know what? I do have it, part of it is the stuff. So I'm going to say vibrant green frog sits calmly on a large round lily pad on the brown. See, I'm taking the first one, the first lesson. I'm going to go and copy it because I am actually too lazy to start going to the prompt. And then I'm going to do generate. But that's going to be vector. What is the difference between pixels and vector? This one is you can take it to Illustrator and start fixing the stuff over here, and it's object oriented. And look at that. This really looks like more of like my children's book, right? About the froggy, because this is really, and then I have this one. Maybe it could be another scene. Hello, I'm doing that, and then I'm doing that, and then all kind of stuff that I have over here. So while I have it over here, I can click on it, and then I'm going to go back here. I can open it in Illustrator on the desktop right now and change. Do you know Illustrator? Yeah. So let's say if I'm going to click on that, I'm going to open Illustrator on the desktop right now. And it's opening for me Illustrator. Okay, I don't want that right now. And look at this. This is my froggy in Illustrator right now. So I can start actually a whole storyboard right now, just having the frog over here. And look at that. It is one artboard that I have over here. And then this is really cool. But I can actually go back here and duplicate it, I'm holding down the Option key. I'm duplicating this frog right now. And now I can maybe have him the same way and then maybe select all of, oh, I don't want to select. I'm just going to select it over here. And then now I can go to another area because I am in Illustrator. And then I can say recolor artwork because maybe I'm just preparing stuff to my art director and asking him, what is the color theme that you want to use? So now I have something different completely. And then I'm going to go to my advanced features. And then I'm going to click and I have the colors that I just have over here. And I can generate recolor again. But look at that. I started somewhere else and then I can start working. The other one that I downloaded was Pixels. This one is actually Vector. So I can just go back here even. Let me just duplicate it and then Option click or Alt click. And now I might just go, I call it ruining it, but I'm not going to ruin it. But I'm just going to take away some stuff that I don't want. So I'm isolating and taking away some stuff. I can go back here to the frog. You see, I'm just taking away. Maybe I don't want the lily pads. I can start clicking on the stuff and maybe start isolating. And soon enough, I just gonna have just the lily pad. So I can start creating my own stuff directly over here. Does that make sense? So that's really a different one that you have. So I'm just gonna go back and I'm going to go into Firefly. I had that. I can go in and create it. The problem, I think, I have to check it out if they made it better or not. What happened with, and I found it the hard way, when you do text to vector, I don't see it in the generation history. I don't think I see it. So what I do is, if I like something, I'm basically going to go in and download it just to make sure. Because if I go back over here and then I going into my stuff and generation history, you see it's not here. I learned it the hard way. What happened is that's a funny story, but I didn't laugh when I had it. I had to create actually a storyboard in Illustrator, and I thought about an idea, and I ended up doing it. text to vector in Firefly and play with it. And then I said, let me do some other stuff and then I'll come back to generation history. It wasn't there. So I had to regenerate everything. And that's when I don't know why they don't do it. It is also, you cannot edit to the gallery either. So be careful when you do that. Go directly and save the stuff in case you need it later. Does that make sense? I know I lost all the files that I had, so I had to go backwards and I didn't really remember what I did. And I didn't copy, it was kind of like because I didn't have my prompts over here. But you're going to have your prompts if you're going directly to Illustrator. So what does it mean? If I go back to File and New, and let's say I'm going to go to a letter over here, and then I'm just going to go into my rectangle tool, and then over here, I'm just going to go in. You can go back here and then I'm going to go back here and say, create a subject or a scene, create a unique pattern. I'm going to go back here, and then it is going to be Firefly 4. You also have a third-party modules now, only 3 of them, but I'm going to go in and hopefully I'm going to make it as a scene, and then let's see if you'll remember what I put before. Yes, it did. So now if I'm inside Illustrator and I'm going to save the file, it will remember my prompt. Does that make sense? So look at that. I have the frog, but look at this. It's a little bit different with the same prompt, but I can start working. What I'm getting it is only 3 versions. I can go back here and then I have content type and detail. I can make it a little bit more detailed. I can go back here and change the style, and then I'm going to choose an asset, or I'm going to go in and create a certain effect over here. And all the way up here, I can go in, I have a style reference and color and tone over here. And then I'm just going to go back here and I'm just going to go in and click on that. And basically, I'm going to go and generate. So it is going to go and generate it for me. So you can do text to vector within Firefly and then take it to Illustrator. And also look at this one. Now I have a different one. Look at this. I have a different kind of scene over here for the first. If I'm going to save this file, I'm going to still see the reference that I have to it, and then I can start working on the stuff that I have. So I might go into File, Save As, and then go back here to my assets. And then I'm going to go into the Illustrator assets, and then I'm going to call it Frog Story. What else can you do over here? So before we kind of like wrap it up and go for Q&A, I just want to look again in Firefly over here and see what else I can go and do over here. So I have edit the image that I have. I have another stuff here, but I'm going to go back here and generation history. I don't have it here. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to generate and look at all features that you have. So you have generative fill that you change the stuff. You can go generate speech that you have. You can go in directly to board. And then if I go back here, I'm going to go image to video. And then I can go back here to my images over here, generate image, and then I can go and generate the image. So we kind of did all the elements that you have over here. You have recommended features, you have under the images that you have, but you have some other stuff that it is just goes directly to an area. Let's say you have text effect or generate color. Do you see here generative recolor? If I'm going to click generative recolor, look what it takes you directly. It takes you directly into Illustrator. So you basically, I'm going to go back, allow it to go to Illustrator. It goes to open Illustrator for me, and then I'm going to do the generative color directly inside Illustrator. So it is a feature that used to be as a standalone within Firefly, and now you have it over here, and I'm going to click over here and look at that, and then over here I can just start doing it and then just do the generative color that I have to the image that I'm going to start working with. So you can see over here, and then I have images that I did before. That's basically images that I did in Illustrator. And then if I go back here, I can use generative color to go back and fix the stuff that I have. The other stuff, if I effect, do you see that? If I click on text effect, look what it's taking me. It's taking me to Adobe Express. So what does it mean? I'm going to add a title. And I'm gonna call it's a frog tail. And I'm gonna highlight, I'm gonna do the A regular. And then I'm gonna click on that, and I have a recommendation of fonts over here. Maybe I'm gonna go and click on that. And maybe I'm making it a little bit more. Doesn't really look so great, but I'm gonna go in and click on the typefaces that I have here, and then this one is different kind, or I can go back here and go into different kind of fonts, and I can describe the fonts that I want. I said a bold sans serif font. And then I'm describing the one that I have, and maybe I'm going to go in. That's not so cool, but I'm just going to go in and click bold. Okay, so let's say I went over here, and now I'm clicking on that. Do I like the effect for text? What do you think? The answer is no. I really don't like it, but some people get crazy about it over here. So look at that. I'm going to go back to the effect. I have different kind of things over here. I'm going to click on the effects over here. So they're giving you different shadows and everything that you have, but these one are actually generated text effect. So I'm going to click on the first one. And then I'm going to go back. I just go in to generate the stuff that I have. Or I can go back here and click on the stuff over here. And then I'm just going to go back here and generate the effect that I have on the text. And look at this. It doesn't really look good, if you ask me, because it's not very readable. Do you see it? I mean, this one maybe is going to be a little bit better. And then it takes also a very long time to do that while you're working. So maybe I'm going to go in and change it to a different, oh, this one is going to look a lot better. I'm going to say it's a frog tail. And I'm making it all caps. And look at this, it's getting the effects that I have over here. And it says a yellow shiny gold metallic rendered realistic drip gooey slime. So this is the text effect that you have. What can you do with it if you have it over here? I can actually download it. I can go back here for the more. I can copy. Try to see if I can go and spell it. I mean, lock the text, link option, duplicate, find and replace over here, and maybe put it somewhere else. Maybe if I copy it, I'm not sure I will be able to take it somewhere, but I'm going to go back here and paste it. And I did pasted it right now. And you over here. Here, I don't have the effects over here with it. I can start doing some other stuff in generative AI directly in Illustrator, but actually it took away my effects that I have. But I can actually download it, and then I'm going to download it as a JPEG. I can upload a PDF if I want, or I can do it a print PDF. I'm just going to go and have it here, and then depending on the size that I want to do, and I'm going to go in and download it. And then when you're downloading it, it's asking you, would you like to also do an Instagram post with it or anything else? If I don't want it, I don't have to do it. But I wonder if I can go back here and file and place it and go to my download and see the JPEG that I have. And you see what happened? This is what happened. This is what I'm getting right now. I got the effect, but it's absolutely pixels that I have over here. So maybe I need to take away the background, and that's basically, I'm going to do it inside Photoshop, but maybe I'm going to try my luck and do it as multiply or color burn. Yeah, it's not going to work over here, but I'm just going to go in and make it normal, and I'm going to need to, maybe I can even vectorize it and do anything else to it. But you can see it doesn't go directly as live type from S to here. Does that make sense? Let's go back into Firefly and see if we have any question and make sure we did everything except sound, because sound, oh, okay, but I didn't do generative fill. So let's go in and I'm going to click to generative fill over here, and look what I have over here. I can upload an image, or I can use some of the images that they have already. So to make life easy, I'm going to go in and view the sample, and I'm going to open the sample. Look what I have over here. It's a sample image. What can I do over here? First of all, I can go back here and invert. I can go and remove. I can expand. And of course, I'm going to go in and pen the area. So I'm going to go to the first one that says insert. And then I'm going to go in to decide, do I want to add or subtract? And then I'm going to also say select the background. So if I'm just going to go in and select the background, look what happened. It just selected the background for me, which is not something that I want to use right now. So I'm resetting it. But I'm going to go back here and look what I'm doing. I'm going to go back here and I want to insert something inside. If I don't have a prompt, it's going to take away something, but I have a prompt over here. I'm going to paste over here, and then I'm going to say a frog sitting on a lily pad. I made myself laugh. It's good, right? Well, I didn't get anything over there. I got something weird here, and I got something. So it's kind of, my prompt was maybe kind of weird, and I'm gonna go in. I don't want to keep it. I'm gonna cancel it out, and then I'm not gonna put anything there. Or maybe I'm going to say flowers with red petals. It's basically you can have the same thing, oh, look at this. Look what I got right now. I got this, I got this one, and I got that one. This one is not looking good. This is a little bit better. This one looks more or less okay. Do I like using it here? The idea is no, I don't. I'll tell you why. Because if I say keep, it is part of the image, and I won't be able to move it unless I use something to move. I like to do generative fill directly into Photoshop because that's going to make it into a layer. And that could be maybe another little seminar using generative fill, using Firefly together with Photoshop. If I go to Photoshop and do that. But let's say I'm going to keep that. I can select the background. I can also go in and remove some stuff. So if I don't like some stuff over here, I can, let's say, remove the window. And then I can say remove. And let's see how it's looking over here and if it is doing a good job. Not bad. Look at this. It's this one and it's that one, and I can keep it. So this is something that I can download, I can share with somebody. I created something a little bit different. I can also expand it, and that's generative expand. So I'm going to go back here and say if I don't want to put a prompt, I'm just expanding it right now, and it's going to be bigger. So it is within Firefly, but this one I actually like to do it directly in Photoshop for the reason that in Firefly it's kind of destructive. You see this one? Oh, look at this one, not bad. And I'm going to keep that. And then I'm going to go back. So I have actually the same image. I do have it in Photoshop already. So let's say I'm going to open Photoshop for a minute. And then we're going to, oh, we're almost done over here. Time flies when you're having a good time, right? Are you having a good time? That's what we're looking at. So let's say I'm going to go to File and Open. And in the area of the asset, I have the same image actually because I brought it in. And then Firefly images. I think I don't I don't have it here, but I think Firefly images. And then I have it not in inspiration file. I think I have it. I just saw it because I in a demo file. Yeah. So I'm opening it and I might do the same thing. So look what happens right now. I'm going to go back here and then I'm going to select an area. So depending what I'm going to use, I might go in and use the brush over here, and I'm going to do it pretty fast. And could have done it a little bit bigger. And look at this area. I have it here. But now what I'm going to say is I can say remove, it will remove the area completely, or I'm going to do generative fill over here. And the generative fill now have new things. It has a regular one in that will do generative fill, but you also have a new one that you can go back here and right away click it with the Firefly Generative Fill, which is basically a new one. Firefly Fill and Expand, it just released now, and it is going to look better that I have. And I say a bed of red tulips and generate. And what I want to really show you is the difference. I have it here. I have it here now. Oh, I like this one better. And I have it here. This one I like the best, right? For me. But now, what is the difference? If I'm going to go to my layers panel now, look at the layers panel. I turn off and I still have my original. If I downloaded the one that I brought from Firefly, has the field directly in there already. So it doesn't layer it. Does that make sense? So you can see here, I can do the before and after. I can do file and open and go to download over here. And then did I download it? I probably did not download it. Or maybe I downloaded to a different place. Let's see if I go back here. No, I didn't download it. But if I go into Firefly and download it, you'll see it's a flat file. This one is not a flat file. It is in a layer. So I can basically go in and work on that and play with it. I can go into this window and then basically I can say remove. And it will just go back here and remove the area that you have, but it will be in a colors that you have. So you can see here, it will create another layer for me. So I'll be able to bring it back if I want. And then I'm going to go back here. It's on and off, on and off. And I can go and play with it and do different kind of things. I even can go back here now and of course do other stuff. And then I can say sky replacement and just go back here to a different sky. And you see it's a little weird over here because I had the generative fill over there, but I can go back here and then I can really make it a little bit different while I'm working with it if I want to go in and look at the stuff. So I'm just going to go back here and look at that. Not bad. New sky. This is the flowers that I have over here. So I might go in to my mask and maybe go and bring back some of the stuff and kind of fix some stuff. So you can go in and look at Photoshop and start looking at the skills that you have and then go back and work with it. Does that make sense? So now I have this entire image that looks really cool. I can go in and make that into a smart object. And of course, once I have it in Smart Object, I can go to one of my filters and then create something with it. So I'm just going to go into a dry brush filter and play with it a little bit. And I have the stuff. So a lot of time, I like to create something and then look at that. I have it here. I can save it again and bring it back to Firefly and do something else with it. But this is my work already in Photoshop. Does that make sense? So to sum it up, I'm going to jump over for a minute, even though I said I don't like to do presentations so much. And I'm going to go back to my presentation from before. So once again, you can see the sample files that I have and download it with the link, including the presentation. You can go directly from here to the Adobe blog. You can go in to the bit.ly here for Firefly boards, and we'll explain to you exactly step by step how to work with boards right away over here. And then you can go back here to Firefly prompting guide and video prompting guide. And this is where I took the guides over here. And then it's going to tell you the destination. And then you're going to go back here and say how to create stunning visual with Adobe Firefly Model 4. Tip, tricks, and examples. So you see you have basically step by step how to create amazing images that you have with Adobe Firefly that you have over here. And I'm going to go back here. Again, you have prompting for video, overview user guides, content credential, which is super important for copyright, content authenticity, and Adobe AI ethics that you want to go and review that. And that actually brings me to over here, the prompts that I gave you some examples that you have and how to get more from it, but also gives me the beginning of what I was talking about is basically what are you going to do with generative AI? Are you going to look at it as your best friend or are you looking at it as your enemy? If you start looking at it as an enemy, you're going to create some problems for yourself because the direction of the industry is going to wear that. But if you accept that and it's your friend, it's almost another art director that helping you create the files that you have, you are going to be able to achieve more stuff and enhance your learning support, boost your creativity, do stuff faster, personalize your image so the AI is going to get used to your style. And then also, if you need accessibility, you're going to go be able to do it a little more. So once again, I hope you enjoyed the session. And do you have any questions? The recording, I'm gonna post it probably the next few days in our Annenberg DL when you have all the seminars. Yeah, so it is going to go and be there. And if you have any questions, you have all the information over here. You can know how to reach me. You can also follow me on Instagram or follow me on Behance. This is my Behance page. And then you can see kind of like the art and other stuff that I'm doing using. Actually, it's all digital. I did not post anything actually generative AI yet. That gives me, I should start doing it, but I didn't do it yet. I'm creating a lot of stuff, but then I didn't post it on Behance yet. Just let me know if you were able to get all the assets. Yes. If you are part of Annenberg, you have free access to everything. Yeah. You just have to talk to the people over here. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for coming again.